Ladies and gents, welcome to the video. I'm GetGoodGuy, this is Battlefield 1, and before we get into it today, let me just show you a little example of why I'm back playing this game again, and the kind of thing that inspired this video. Just a very simple clip, but it just perfectly illustrates what I'm talking about. So, we're running up here, we see a guy, we take this guy out, and we're running to evade who is behind us. Guy in the corner, we think, yep, he's there, go through here, check through the little window, see if he's still there, get on the roof, dynamite out, I think so, when we get it, here it goes, chuck it, turn, jump off the roof, wait, blow it up, kill two guys inside. Just it's a perfect example of what makes this game so great, really stand out for me, and frequently deliver only in Battlefield moments. And so with that in mind, today we're talking specifically about only in Battlefield 1 moments. Although Battlefield 5 has some moments such as these available, they're infinitely fewer and more far between. But this isn't a video designed to bash BF5. I mention it purely because this video idea started out as basically a comparison, showing things in BF1 that you can't do in BF5, but then I came up with some ideas that you can't do in any of the other Battlefields, and then on top of that, I came up with some ideas that you can't do in any of the games at all that I know of, and so I decided rather than make it complicated, let's just mix them all into this one list of 20, and I've called it Only in Battlefield 1. If I mention anything in this video that you can do in another game or whatever, well now you know why, don't take it super literally, it's just a fun video concept. Let me know if your own Only in Battlefield 1 things in the comments below, and which of mine is your favorite. Now in no particular order, let's do this. We'll open with enter a World War I death maze. This was special, an Easter egg or challenge, the final one in fact, required in order to unlock a secret gun. On Passchendaele there was a blocked up entrance to be found that you could unlock via entering a series of commands via two input devices. The correct pattern blew open the entrance and gave you the opportunity to enter the secret death maze. Once inside you had many different levels of the same layout. Do go north, east, south, or west. Get it right and you drop down to the next level. Get it wrong and you die. Brilliant work from DICE and a truly unique moment. Look up a tutorial on YouTube if you'd like to visit it for yourself. Next up is Be a Tank Hunter. Battlefield 1 had sentries or elite pickup kits, and one of those is the ridiculously fun Tank Gewehr, a kit built around a super high powered rifle, an anti-tank rifle. Now I know some of you right now are keen to bring up the anti-tank rifles in BF5, but please, let's not pretend they feel like the same thing. The Tank Gewehr kit punches hard, and actually does significant damage to tanks. Getting the kit makes you the only one in the Battlefield using it, plus it comes with a double barrel shotgun as your secondary. It's miles ahead, and I mean miles ahead, of using an anti-tank rifle in Battlefield 5, which ended up being kind of underwhelming to be honest. Only in BF1 do you truly get to feel the power of this thing, and from a sentry pickup, becoming an actual tank hunter. Now when I grabbed this thing for footage, I damaged a couple of vehicles, but someone jumped in both times to land the finishing blow on them. Mega frustrating from a content capturing perspective, but what I've been demonstrating for you is the disgusting power it holds against infantry. It blows chests open with absolute ease. One of my personal favorite things in Battlefield 1. Next up is use a BEHEMOTH, something that split the community massively to be honest. BEHEMOTHs are huge super-powered vehicles that become available for the losing team in certain circumstances on certain maps. Incredibly frustrating to deal with at times, undeniably, but also another unique experience, something definitely not present within BF5 or indeed a vast number of other games. What you're seeing is me manning a machine gun mounted on top of an airship, trying and largely failing to take down enemy aircraft. And just to add to that only in Battlefield feeling, my time up there ended as an enemy apparently had parachuted onto the airship from a passing plane and proceeded to melee me to death. Just fantastic work. Next up is Be a Sniper Medic. Yep, the medic class had a rifle called the General Lu, a semi-automatic option. However, it has an alternate fire mode which turns it into effectively a sniper rifle, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know the technical term for what happens, but basically, it can one-shot body shot at certain ranges. So while BF5 has bolt-action carbines within the medic class, which can one-shot headshot, BF1 offers you the opportunity to one-shot people to the body, whilst also being able to switch back to the semi-auto fire mode, as and when you please. A genuine sniper medic, albeit without a scope, so I guess maybe more so a marksman. Now whatever, it's just another option on the list of the vast amount of ways to play Battlefield 1. Next up, BURTON burning, a special one. We're continuing with the theme of alternate fire modes providing different ways to play the game. The BURTON is a support class weapon that has incendiary rounds available as an alternate fire mode. Now sure, they still work against infantry as you're seeing, but they're designed predominantly predominantly for anti-air, making light work of enemy planes foolish enough to pass overhead. But I think more importantly than that is what you can do to enemy airships. Remember those that I mentioned just a little bit earlier? Well, this time, and this is the true only in Battlefield 1 moment, rather than being the sucker sitting on top of it getting meleeed to death, I'm the hunter this time. My Burton is set to fire incendiary rounds. I'm pummeling the airship with all I've got, and my reward is taking it down over the course of a few minutes, picking up a multi-kill and of course, the phenomenal sight of a flaming enemy airship crashing to the ground below. Next up, use cavalry. Name me another Battlefield game where you can ride a horse across the open fields of World War II like this. In fact, you'll struggle to find another first-person shooter out there that offers this. And the closest game I can think of off the top of my head with anything like this is Assassin's Creed, which isn't exactly similar to Battlefield. This is a genuine standout aspect of Battlefield 1, an iconic gaming image. Next is cause HELLRIEGEL rage. Anyone that played BF1 for a decent chunk of time while it was the latest game in the series will know that the HELLRIEGEL got a lot of people very upset. I'm not saying this is a good or bad thing, just that it's a thing. HELLRIEGEL usage at one point made up a huge percentage of overall weapon selection. It honestly wasn't as overpowered as many thought it was, but it had a massive magazine and was reasonably consistent, and to this day, I still get people in my comment section complaining about it. Next, we have use GetGoodGuy's worst gun in gaming. Yep, in BF1, you can use the weapon I've hated using the most in any game ever. Not because it's the least effective, but because it's actually supposed to be effective, and yet I can't see a damn thing through the iron sights on offer. This is the Enfield, and I hate it. You can change the sights to the radial ones, but I don't like those either. So essentially what we have here is a precision weapon that I simply can't be precise with due to a near total lack of vision while aiming with it. Some people have told me they have no issues with the sights, and that's cool, good for them, but I just can't understand how anyone sees through this mess. So yeah, I hate this gun, that's all there is to it. Okay, onwards, use the secret gun, the weapon that I referred to earlier. The reward for completing the final challenge, the Death Maze, is the Peacekeeper, a revolver with unique animations, an awesome skin featuring skulls, the ability to fan fire the gun super fast, and the potential to one-shot headshot. Secret weapon unlocks via challenges are always great in my book, and BF1's offering is so much fun to use. Again, look up some tutorials and unlock this thing for yourself, but beware, it's pretty time consuming and difficult. Next up, limpet charges. Hilarious things these. Something I sorely miss when I go to BF5. They're just such a troll gadget. Chuck them at anything you want, let them stick, run away, and boom. Super simple, super satisfying, and great for demolition jobs as well. Moving on, use the world's smallest pistol, the Calibri. It's freaking tiny, and it's gone down in folklore as one of the worst guns ever to appear in a video game. It does about 4 or 5 damage to the body, meaning you have no chance of spamming an enemy down with a clip full of body shots. Your only chance is to utilize the boosted headshot damage, which will see you drop them in 4 or 5 shots. Another very trolly option and another iconic Battlefield 1 asset. Next up, fight in Argonne Forest. Okay, so this may appear in some other games out there, I have no idea, but it for sure isn't present in another Battlefield game that I'm aware of. It's a really simple one. I'm including it because it's my favorite map I've played on since I started making Battlefield content on YouTube. It's so much fun, and the different sections of the map provide varied choke points, flanking routes, and such like. Brilliant map design. Next, we have Cause SMG08 Rage. Basically, this is what replaced the HELLRIEGEL as the dominant assault weapon use choice in Battlefield 1. A huge magazine and the ability to spray and pray to your heart's content. Once again, I'm not saying if it's good or bad, just highlighting its existence, and I now move on before anyone rages too hard. Next is Syringe Revive. So simple, so dearly missed. I get what they thought they were providing with all the animations in BF5, but for me, nothing beats the ability to quickly syringe people back from the dead in BF1, and it seems to highly incentivize everyone to revive far more often. A better experience for all. Please bring it back in BF6. Next up, enter a zombie room. So on Fort Devoe, there's a door that rumbles and shakes, and there are noises coming from behind it. This became affectionately known as the zombie room among the Battlefield community. If you go around the map destroying signs and pressing buttons behind them in the right order, the zombie room door opens. But don't actually expect a zombie to be behind there, okay? You'll just be disappointed. It's actually another puzzle to solve. Look up a tutorial to see what you have to do. Next, use the MARTINI-HENRY, the ultimate one-bang blaster. We're gonna rapid fire this one and the remaining ones out now. Line up your shot, aim for the chest, boom, the chest is gone. Incredibly fun. Then we have gas people, or indeed yourself. Gas irritated a lot of people, but that doesn't change that it's something BF5 and a lot of other other games don't have. Throw the gas and let it do the work for you. Next, use the rocket gun. I mean, man, what's not to like with this? Whether it be against infantry, buildings, or vehicles, the rocket gun is awesome. And for me, it totally wipes the floor with the bazooka, the Panzerfaust, and the Piat of Battlefield 5. Bags of fun. Then we have smash holes in wood. This might seem like a tiny thing, but for me, it's a big deal. In BF5, when you hit doors or fences, nothing much happens, at least from my experience. But in BF1, if you select a melee weapon that can destroy wood, you can create holes in doors and fences to use them to your advantage. Something I really miss from BF1, and I again hope returns in BF6. And finally, we have be constantly killed by planes. Okay, so this one is a bit of a stretch, as BF5 has had some periods where planes were very powerful, but seriously, I got so used to being killed by planes and tanks and whatever in BF1 that I even made a video called Vehicle Death Simulator, so I couldn't not have the premise be part of this video. And with that, that's my list of things you can only do in BF1. Now let me know which one is your favorite and any you can think of that aren't in my list, and I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leaving a like is really appreciated, and if you're new or haven't subscribed to me, maybe do that and turn on notifications to stay up to date. I put out a load of Battlefield content and some other stuff coming soon. Plus, all the links to my social media, including Patreon, can be found in the description and my pinned comment. Here is the Board of Awesome for the epic people who already support the channel on Patreon. They're all absolute heroes and I love them all deeply and of course often. If you want to join them on the Board of Awesome, the link to the Patreon page is in the description and my pinned comment. And with all that said, I'm GetGoodGuy and I'll see you next time. Laters. This helped to differentiate them and such like, which BF5 doesn't really have, but some people don't like this, they again think it's casual. Me personally, at least on console, I think it's easier to use other weapons than a bolt action still,